Greetings, everyone, and Assalamu alaikum. Now, if you're feeling uncomfortable, that's because that Assalamu alaikum is an authentic Arabic pronunciation. I never passed through the Western Sydney rendition. Now, don't worry, it's a stand-up comedy show. It's not an ISIS recruitment seminar. For those, Fridays, any Lakimba mosque will take you. Now, to tell you about me and why I said Assalamu alaikum in Arabic is I have the trifecta, the unwanted trifecta. So my first name is Ali, and I'm a Syrian national, and I'm a Muslim. When I pass through an airport, that check is not random, it's guaranteed. Now, the only thing that's random, well, not random, but it's the outcome. So I decided to give it odds. I love to put a bet on things, and it's all based on my statistics and personal experience. 1 and 2, he asks me some questions, he lets me go. 1 and 5, I get the scan, and I still go. 1 and 10, the gloves and lube come out, I get my cavity check. In this case, we both pass, him through my asshole and me through security. So, in Australia, and considering I have a mighty white crowd over here, I typically get asked the usual question, why do you look like that as a Syrian? And I have a simple answer to that. Like, we're not all dusty. Like, some of us will moisturize. See, I know it's a shocker to you that the Middle East has a skincare routine, but when your government tries to cleanse you and airstrikes exfoliate you, you might as well add the last step and moisturize. The second thing people will ask me is the accent. And everybody wants to, everybody thinks I have a super good story. And yeah, the accent says private school, and that's true. And yeah, the background does say, search him again, also true. Like, there's nothing much to it other than that. Now, so recently, well, not recently, a few weeks back, I was having some spicy, like spicy nutcrackers, and I didn't have anything else to eat. So I woke up, my asshole was hurting me, and I knew I had a nasty case of hemorrhoids experience. So, after a few days, there was still blood on the tissue, so I knew something was wrong. So, I went to my local GP. And my local GP has, your typical stereotypical name, Dr. Chen. Walked into Dr. Chen, he's like, oh, what's wrong now, Ali? Because I'm a bit of a hypochondriac, so he knows who I am. And I said, my asshole's hurting me. And he's like, all right, close the curtain, lower your pants, get on the bed, fetal position, I know the drill. You pop your ass back out a bit, he puts the glove, he lubes up, take a deep breath. Peter, you know what I'm talking about. And then he says, take a deep breath, and then his finger's positioned, and then as you exhale, the finger goes, boop, and it goes in. And I couldn't help but think, it's kind of the same technique as a cavity check, but there's one significant difference. Dr. Chen, he's Asian, small, beautiful, moisturized hands. When border security does it, kind of feels like a hate crime. I hope to God you're not the person Ted was talking about, because that finger will hurt if you're a doctor. That's a violation. So I moved to Australia a year back. And when you say that to people are like, you're fresh off the boat. Home Affairs prefers the term a person of interest. Now, a person of interest is not who I am when it comes to the Sydney dating scene. I'm a single Muslim Arab, and guess where I live? In the inner west. Now, the inner west is an odd place to me, really, really odd. And I get the impression, nobody get offended if you're from here. I just get the impression. It's like rebelling rich kids trying to act poor. When I was a kid, I tried to rebel, but I had an Arab dad, and he came equipped with a weapon, his belt. So, I can look at your faces, you all know the Christmas jingle bells. My ears are tuned to hear my dad's belt buckle when it jingles. One gives you hope and the other crushes it. And something about the Arab world, which is bizarre when you're an Arab male, is it's a badge of honor when you go to school and you talk about who got the biggest ass whooping from your dad. That's like a badge of honor, I don't know why. So typically when you get your ass whooped by your dad, there's 2 ways with a belt. Option 1, he has the belt on him, he takes it off and he whoops you on the spot, trauma. Option 2, he doesn't have the belt on him, so he says, go to the room, wait for me, he gets the belt and he whoops your ass in the room. Now my dad had a twist. All these geopolitical wars gave him a psychological edge, and he tried to practice that at home. So what he would do when he didn't have the belt, he'd say, I'll wait here, you get the belt, and then I'll whoop your ass with it. So to that I say, thanks Dad, for once I was popular in school. Now I'm 32 years old. Obviously, if I'm looking for love in the inner west, I ain't finding it. Different reasons. And I finally had to cave in. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm line me up a cousin. Now, I get it. I genuinely do. I honestly understand what, like, I'm not enthusiastic about marrying my cousin, just so you know. Like, I'm not romantically attracted to her. But it's a strategic decision. Let me break it down to you. Some advantages. Your first date? That's a family reunion. Your honeymoon? That's an extended family trip. Her dating history? That's just other cousins. You know, the only jealousy is who had a bigger dick, mine or Muhammad's. And for that I say, thanks Dad, I didn't win that one. So, you know, clearly, you know, my life's going to shit, being financially molested, you know, by this cost of living. You know, my career is tanking, and instead of going to Peter for therapy, or Peter's friends, welcome, you know, I decided to come here and present in front of all of you. Because like nothing says progress in life than a Muslim Arab bombing for 5 minutes in front of a Newtown crowd. Shukran, thank you.